Did you ever play with yourself in Madden?
Nah, I couldn't. It was hard for me. It was hard for me to try to do what I was doing on the field, the actual field, on Madden. Which I
Who
should
are
have
your
been the
people
master
then?
of that. I feel like I should have been the master of that. But now I'm a lot better when I play with Lamar because I understand how to use Lamar, right? But yeah, I couldn't do it with me back in the day, man. So I used to get like Peyton and I used to get Tom and Drew. I wanted that big passing. Remember the passing vision back in the day? 0405, yeah, wide, super wide, mass from this there. But I had the moves. So it was take your pick.
We were doing some research, and we were watching that Nike commercial with you, Don Shula, fucking Urlacher,
Steve Young.
Matt
LT.
Leinart.
Yep.
Like, those were some of the dopest commercials, and you were like the lead.
Yeah, man, it was the league put me in an awesome position, man. They made me the face of the league. I was the face of the Atlanta Falcons franchise, and we did some pretty cool things together. I was on the race to cover Madden, fortunate enough to be a part of that. You just don't grow up thinking that's gonna happen. So when that happened, I was, I got hit with the curse. I got hit with the bad curse. I missed the whole 3 season, but hey, it was a sacrifice. I made it through.
Everything happens for a reason, as long as we all learn from it. And
Yeah.
just sitting here talking to Mike, man, just the humbleness. I mean, it's unreal. It really is fucking crazy to just get to sit down and talk with. I mean, he's one of the greats that literally has helped revolutionize this game in allowing guys that are athletic, that can take off and run, get opportunities to play quarterback. And if you look at the league now, even our pocket passers, the Mahomes, the Josh Allens, like the Lamars, all these guys, they can throw the fucking rock, but it's because of watching guys like Michael Vick. Hey, I could run the ball too, and that's a huge part of our game now, and it's largely because of you.
Mike, who are your guys? Like, who are your favorite quarterbacks coming up?
So Randall, John Elway, Steve Young, and who else? Those 3 was guys that I looked at my game like this. Like, man, people don't understand how good John Elway was. Like, John Elway was dual threat before dual threat. Steve came along, and I was watching some of Steve highlights a couple weeks ago, and he had some pretty big runs. He was ripping off like 30-yarders and 40-yarders, and then, Cunningham came, and he took it next level. So I used to love more Moon because I wanted that pocket pass inside. Like, he was like so accurate and so smooth in it's just his throwing transition. He became one of the greats. So, just watching all those guys, and I just kind of like made it, just like put it all in the pot, mix it up, and like, I'm going to be a little bit of every single one of these guys.
There's an old saying, though, because I was a huge Niners guy. I grew up a huge Niners fan. I grew up in the Bay. And the word on the street is that Steve Young was the fastest guy on the team.
I believe it. I grew up
crazy.
in that.
I could
listen. No, go look at those clips. Go look at those clips, Jay. You're going to see.
I lived them.
Bro.
I lived them.
Yeah.
But I was a little like, we almost stopped becoming 49ers fans because we were Joe Montana people. It wasn't until Joe broke in, or Steve broke in. I mean, that was like a huge.
I went through that transition.
Joe was literally like fucking. He was like a Brady type. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then they moved on, and it just the cutthroat of this business. You gotta do what's best for the team, and they did that. And Steve got his opportunity and ran with it.
Well,
but how did you always feel like you were like the fastest guy in the field, the most elusive guy? Like, you weren't looking at the guy in front of you, because I know this as a runner. You're not looking at it. You're looking at the 3 dudes past him, because he's automatically gonna get shook.
Yeah.
So is that how it was?
I knew I was the most elusive. It was a highlight I had in college, and a play that I never forget. At high school, a play I never forget. And I went back and watched the tape, and I made a move on like 4 different people, 4 defenders. And my high school coach was watching the tape together, and he looked at me and he was like, you know, that just don't, people just don't do moves like this. You'll probably play in the NFL making moves like this. So right then and there, I wasn't fast. It was just a elusive, quick. I was more
You were
quick than I
fast.
was
You were
fast. Yeah.
talking from a non-athlete here. It was incredibly fast.
But I always got caught. Like if I broke out, scrambling, I broke out. I always would get caught. So I never feel like I had the long speed. It was more so I could get off him. I can get away from him. And then it's up to you to turn on your jets. So I
Do you
always
really
knew
not consider yourself fast?
No,
There's
I
two
never.
types of
No, I
speeds.
never. Yeah, it might sound weird, but I never considered myself fast, more quick. And to actually answer Julian's question, just the most athletic, the more agile athlete on the field. I felt like I was that. Like in a box, you're not gonna get me in a box. I'm gonna get away from it.
I just wish that I would make 80-yard runs in the National Football League and then still have the audacity to say I'm not fast.
If you're not fast, I'm a quadriplegic. All right.
I was a loop. And so that big run against Minnesota that people like to talk about is one of my least favorites, but it was an incredible highlight. Only because, like, circumstances of how it all happened. And then I had to I did a lot in that run. And I was really running for my life, like just trying to run into the end zone with him. I went through two dudes trying not to get smashed. I'm like, yo, this is kamikaze. This is crazy. But this is what I do. This is what I get paid for. So my athleticism got me through them. And then I just shot through a gap, and was able to, but it looked fast. I get it.
And you can't forget, I mean, the dude had a fucking laser as an arm.
Oh yeah, I remember on ESPN they would just throw how far you could gun it. It was like 70 yards.
I still could do it. I still could rip it.
Well, we might have to get up, run some routes then. I can still run them a couple.
Let's do it.
Maybe I can come back, may need a lefty over here to throw to me a couple times. We can go maybe line up on the line, see where I'm at.
I'll hold up an iPhone just to feel useful.
Yeah, you can come back. I'm not coming back. And I got the bread, like shit and everything. It's all. Only certain people can do it.
That's wisdom. Those grays on your chin are wisdom.